She's sitting in class. In front of her is an open math notebook, mercilessly scribbled in red ink. Tears are falling like hail into this notebook. The teacher stands next to her, pulls her ear painfully, and says, "Look for a mistake. You trashy girl, look for it." What efforts did Lana Turner need at one time to ensure that the press wrote beautifully, mysteriously, and indistinctly about her childhood and early youth? But there was nothing mysterious in her life. I grew up in the small town of Wallace, Idaho. Father John Virgil Turner is a bootlegger, an underground liquor dealer. Mildred's mother is a housewife exhausted by constant lack of money, who barely managed to make ends meet. And there was not enough money because the father of the future star could not succeed in trading, no matter how hard he tried. I had to patch holes in the family budget at the card table. The only big win cost the unlucky bootlegger his life. After drinking heavily for joy on the way home, John told everyone that now he would definitely buy a bicycle for his beautiful daughter. She never got a bike because the lucky winner never got home. John was found in a ditch this morning, dead, with empty pockets. So Julia Jean, who later became Lana Turner, was left without a father at the age of 9. She and her mother moved to San Francisco, where Mildred got a job as a saleswoman in a cosmetics store. Turner recalled that apart from milk and crackers, there was no other food in the house. Mildred had neither the time nor the desire to mess with her daughter, and she put the child in boarding school with one family or another. The girl also happened to live in an orphanage. Therefore, as soon as she graduated from high school, Julia Jean got a job as a dancer in a nightclub on the outskirts of Los Angeles. What she had to do to get a place in a CE club, Turner chose to forget. She got into the cinema by accident. A producer accidentally stumbled upon a beautiful girl, and the dirty girl turned into a princess. At the Top Hat Cafe, the future star sat down at a table and ordered a Coke. She leaned back in her chair, crossed her legs, and looked around. A well-dressed gentleman came up to her, handed her a business card, and asked how she would like to look on the screen and photos. Julia Jean, sipping a Coke through a straw, thought about it and replied, "Maybe in a tight sweater." So she turned into Lana Turner, the girl in the tight sweater. Of course, Hollywood appreciated her beautiful face and chiseled figure. She was dyed blonde. The young beauty was vied with men, and she changed them like gloves. Studio producer Louise Mayer had to remind Ms. Turner that she had a clause in her contract requiring compliance with moral standards. A small role, a bigger role, and now Lana Turner's dazzling smile is shining on all the billboards in America. Fans call her darling. She gives numerous interviews and understands that the advertising machine is working. This machine collects gossip about movie stars and then skillfully feeds it to the public. And for an actress who wants to remain a star, it is important to know what kind of firewood needs to be thrown into this eternally hungry oven. Lana Turner understood everything perfectly and did not make mistakes, for the time being. She is 20 years old, the first marriage. Artie Shaw, her chosen one, is an actor, musician, and composer, an intellectual who dreams of a writing career. The marriage was concluded in Las Vegas. Lana remembered that she had not warned her mother and sent her a telegram. "I got married in Las Vegas. I'll call you later. Kisses, Lana." The divorce took place 4 months later. Stephen Crane, actor and restaurateur. The second marriage in which baby Cheryl appeared. "Why did you get divorced?" Lana answered evasively. "We often argued." The divorce was mysterious, restrained, noble. They lived together for 8 months, divorced in January 1943, and remarried in March. The remarriage lasted 3 months less. For MGM Studios, this was a warning signal. Unexpectedly for themselves, they saw destructive impulsivity in the character of their star. Henry Topping. A new marriage with the Tin King has given food for gossip. Lana was accused of being prudent. There was no point in arguing, and Lana made up a nice story for the newspaperman. "I told the king that I didn't love him. He replied, 'You'll love it,' and he dropped a 15-carat diamond ring into my champagne glass. I put on the ring and he beamed. 'Does that mean you're going to marry me?' I replied, 'I just like this ring.'" Lana's fourth marriage ended in failure. Legendary handsome Lex Barker, who played the role of Tarzan, was kicked out of Lana's house in disgrace. He was forbidden to approach the actress and her daughter. The fact was that Lex tried to seduce 13-year-old Cheryl. Despite her shortcomings, Lana, who suffered in childhood, tried to be an exemplary and attentive mother to Cheryl. When did the muscular, burning handsome Johnny Stompanato appear in her life? If she had known what this acquaintance would lead her to, she would have run from Johnny as fast as she could. The affair with Johnny developed rapidly. After getting her phone number, he introduced himself as John Steele. The fan literally showered Lana with flowers, jewelry, and gifts, surrounded her with attention, care, and luxury. It was only a few months later that Lana found out his real name and occupation. But it was too late to change anything. They were already in a close relationship. Johnny was the bodyguard and henchman of the famous gangster Mickey Cohen. Johnny was courting on a grand scale. Arriving at the next shooting of Peyton Place, Turner announced that she would star in jewelry, a gift from Stompanato, and customers could take their cheap trinkets. Johnny was jealous and short-tempered. Back in London during the filming of Another Time, Another Place, Stompanato decided that Sean Connery was looking at Lana too tenderly and showed up on set with a gun. During the filming of the love scene, Johnny yelled, "Get your hands off my woman." We must pay tribute to Sean, who was not only not afraid, but also took away the weapon and even knocked out Johnny with a powerful blow. In the evening at the hotel, Johnny made a scandal for Lana and beat her for the first time. An animal fear settled in her soul when she looked into his bloodshot eyes and couldn't move in horror. When she tried to call the desk clerk, Johnny almost strangled her. Filming had to be suspended. Lana's face and neck were swollen from the blows. She had to lie that a piece of scenery had fallen on her. Lana was thinking of going to the police, but then, in this case, a public scandal would break out, and she did not want to expose the case to publicity. She planned to quietly leave Johnny, but it wasn't easy. He declared that he would kill her. Lana decided to take a vacation in Mexico and did not tell anyone about her plans, but at the Mexico City airport, she was met by a crowd of reporters and Johnny. Johnny behaved even worse in Acapulco than in London. Lana made several unsuccessful attempts to break up with her lover. 14-year-old Cheryl saw bruises on her mother's body and knew that her boyfriend was hitting her. Lana forbade the girl to tell anyone about the beatings. She was afraid that if the newspapers found out about her affair with a gangster, her career would be over. In 1958, Lana Turner was nominated for an Oscar in the Best Actress category for the film Peyton Place. She went to the ceremony with her daughter. Johnny barely let her go, having made Lana promise that she would not stay for the banquet. Photos of Lana Turner flew around the world at the gala dinner dedicated to the Oscar ceremony. She was dazzlingly beautiful in a voluptuous white dress with an open back. Cary Grant was sitting between her and Cheryl. And at the same time, Johnny Stompanato was standing dejectedly in front of the TV in the 730 mansion on North Bedford Drive in Beverly Hills, which Lana had rented shortly before. His mood was getting worse by the minute. By the time Lana returned, Johnny was already furious, and then the noise of an approaching car was heard, from which Lana and her daughter got out. Lana went into the bedroom. Johnny hurried to the same place and locked the door behind him. His pupils narrowed, his mouth twisted viciously. He was shaking with anger. "Where have you been?" The quarrels were repeated more and more often. On April 4, 1958, Lana and Johnny went shopping and picked out kitchen utensils. Johnny bought a set of kitchen knives. In the evening, they quarreled again. Johnny swung, but Lana dodged. Then he began to strike her blow after blow. Cheryl was knocking on the door of the locked bedroom in fright and shouting that she was calling the police. Lana tried to calm her daughter down. "Baby, everything is fine. Johnny will calm down now. Go to bed." Cheryl listened to the voices in the bedroom. Lana said softly but firmly, "Johnny, we need to break up. It can't go on like this." Johnny turned purple all over. "I will decide that. And now I'll leave an autograph on your face with a razor if I find out that you're cheating on me." Lana clutched her face in horror and rushed away and opened the safety door. Cheryl darted into the kitchen faster than lightning and grabbed a meat cleaver. In a minute it was all over. The sprawled body of 32-year-old Stompanato was lying in the bedroom. The 14-year-old girl was acquitted, considering the incident as self-defense, although evil tongues claimed that Cheryl took on what her mother did. One of Mickey Cohen's henchmen claimed that Cheryl was in love with Johnny. During the trial, someone shouted from the gallery, "Johnny lived with both of them," so his daughter became jealous of his mother. Lana played her role well during the trial. The text was rehearsed more than once with the best lawyer in Hollywood. But the Stompanato family was sure that it was Lana Turner who killed Johnny, who after the incident simply covered herself with her daughter. Immediately after the trial, Cheryl went to her father in Hawaii without saying goodbye. Cheryl Crane studied the hotel and restaurant business, helped her restaurateur father, worked as a model, wrote several books, and never connected her life with men. She was in relationships only with women. Lana Turner's career was almost cut short after this incident. Someone published her love letters to Johnny, and the whole of Hollywood laughed at her. However, fate gave her the opportunity to take revenge. Ross Hunter, at his own risk, entrusted Lana with the main role in his film Imitation of Life. The plot of the film tells about an actress who sacrificed her love and child. Lana won an Oscar for this role. She was lucky in her family life too. This time she met real estate dealer Fred May. "It's a pity that I didn't meet him many years earlier," Lana said. They got married. Her husband adored her. But a measured, correct, and boring life with the average American turned out to be not for her. The next husband of 43-year-old Lana was Robert Eaton, who was 10 years younger. They met on the set of the film Madame X. Distraught with passion for him, Turner decided to assign him an allowance of $2,500 a month. And then she miscalculated. Lana interested Robert only when she gave him expensive gifts and paid his expenses. She soon found out that Ethan was cheating on her and filed for divorce. Turner remained an attractive woman for quite a long time, and her figure was slender. A month after her divorce from Ethan, Lana met hypnotist Ronald Dant and married him. After the wedding in Vegas, she, as if hypnotized, handed her husband a check for $35,000 to open his own business, with which he ran away. The last two husbands married her solely for money. Lana lived the rest of her life alone, quietly and without scandals. In 1995, the actress died. She died of cancer at the age of 74. Lana was joking sadly, "I dreamed of having one husband and 7 children, but it turned out the opposite."